Hi, welcome to my channel, Takoyaki Tarot. Today is April 16th, 2023, 10:14 a.m. So, those of you who have been like subscribing to my channel, supporting my channel, watching, emailing me, commenting, liking, all that good stuff, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I've been taking quite a bit of breaks here and there in between my reads, so I know that some of you have noticed that. So, yeah, that's all I can say about that, really. So, anyways, before I get into this, I want to remind anyone that's watching that these messages are not going to resonate with everyone. All right. If they resonate with you and gives you clarity, great. If it doesn't, then don't force it to be your story. Don't make it yours, right? Um, let me see. I was gonna say something before I started this reading. I don't know. If it comes back in my head, then I'll say it. Let me see. It had to do with like a dream that I had last night. Oh, I guess the gist of it all was doors. To kind of like summarize the dream, like first of all, it was a very short dream, all right, but even the dream itself is like detailed. In a sense, a lot of you are closing doors in your life, all right. um yes, haha. I mean literally, but also like spiritually speaking, you guys are finally putting an end to certain things in your life and just closing those doors and just leaving it for what it is. All right, so that's good. Especially if what's behind the other door, the other side of the door, is not good, or for your highest good, or it's just like, you know. So, no more repeating cycles, no more patterns, none of that. Hold on, I'll be right back. 222. So, hold on. All right, I'm back. So that's that message. All right, so I'm going to start pulling cards. Also, oh yeah, there are people around you that want to know what you know. That's literally simple as that. Um, they just want to know what you know. They want to know what you know, and then they want to ask you, how do you know what? I think that's really the thing. They want to know what you know, but they want to know how. How do you know what you know? How do you know it? How do you know blah blah blah, right? So anyways, let's pull some cards. Let's see what happens. What was that? Wow. It was your family. So that card wanted to come out. Something about your family. It could be your family that want to know what you know, or they, in particular, they want to know how you know what you know. These are people that you closed the door on. Not saying that you don't care about the relationship you have with them. But it's more like you're indifferent to it. Like either you don't care whether or not you have the relationship with them. Like if they want to be in your life, okay, cool. If they don't, okay, cool. You know, like it doesn't make a difference to you either way. All right, so we have Star Child. That's you, collective. Either this is you or you have a Star Child, but you could just be a Star Child of the universe. Magic Hex Curse has backfired. That has to do, once you close that door, it's like everything just kind of like backfired and rebounded. Your light bothers their demons. I secretly love you. So these are the same people. These could be people in your family, because again, that card didn't want to come out. These are the people in your family, or your family, or whatever. It could be your family as a whole, as a group. It could be all of them. It could be some of them. It could be like one of them, but it's a group. It's more than one person in your family. Um, they've been doing magic, curses, hexes, whatever, for however long, for whatever reason. But once you close that door, all of that backfired. So I feel like the only reason why a lot of that magic was working is because you were holding on to them. You know how that saying is, okay, for example, this is what I'm seeing in my head. I'm seeing a rose, and the rose has tons of thorns on it. And when you hold a rose by the stem, the harder and harder you hold on, the thorns are going to hurt you. They're going to poke you and prod you, make you bleed, and make you cut yourself, right? That's essentially, I hate to say it like this, but it's like, this is obviously not going to be for everybody, because not everybody's family is like this, all right? So be realistic. But not everybody's family is like this. For those of you that resonate with this reading, your family is the stem of the rose. You want to hold on to it, because at the end of the day, having family is beautiful. It means something to you. It's, you love your family, you care about them, right? But holding on to them is hurting you. It's hurting you. It's doing more harm than good. And because it's like you were holding on to that affection, that love, that whatever it was that you have for your family, that's why all this magic, these curses, these hexes, it was working. But then you closed that door. When you closed that door, it was you letting go of that stem, letting go of that rose. And now it's like none of that can work, right? None of that can work. None of the magic, curse, hex, backfire, it can't work. So it's kind of like you dropped the rose. Like, you can look at it from afar, but you know better than to pick up a thorny rose now, right? And as you're doing that, you're also healing your hand. You're moving on. You're smelling the flowers. You're just living your life, right? Now, aside from that, we have your light bothers their demons. I secretly love you. Your family members, they have a lot of demons within them. It's really inside of them. To be more precise about this, how do I say this? It's really, I mean, for some of them, it could actually be like, I don't mean to laugh, but for some of your family members, it could actually be like actual demons. I don't know why I'm laughing, but I just think it's like, I don't know. I think it's because I have to explain myself, and every time I have to explain myself, I'm just like, it's so, like, anyways. I hate having to explain myself, but I'm doing it for the sake of this reading, because I hope it helps you, the collective, watching this. So, for some of your family members, they actually do have demons inside of them. For others of you, or it could even be the same people, whatever. For some of your family members, they have that. For other family members, it's really their internal trauma. Oh, it can be drama too. It's really just their internal trauma, that it's like just manifesting itself and growing, and it's trauma, it's insecurities, it's the way they see themselves, the box that they put themselves in, the way they see the world, how they limit themselves. It's a lot of that are their demons, all right? It's not actual demons, but it's just their internalized view of themselves and the world, all right? So for some of you, your family members need an exorcism. I don't mean to laugh. And then for others of you, your family members need therapy. It is what it is. They need therapy to kind of sort out their emotions, their feelings, why they are the way they are, why they think the way they do, why they limit themselves, why they put themselves in a box, their childhood, and all that good stuff, right? Now, the card says, I secretly love you. On top of that, on top of all of that stuff that's inside of them, demons and, things that they need to go to therapy for, right? To just sum it all up. On top of all of that, they secretly love you because you are a star child. Now, I feel like for a lot of your family members, on top of their hatred towards you, they love you. And it's like they love you for the same exact reason that they hate you. All right. It's kind of like, for example, there are two women. This is for an example. There are two women. One woman has short hair. One woman has long hair. One woman, for example, the woman with long hair would be jealous and hateful of the woman with short hair, but also admire the fact that she is able to just cut her hair and let it be long, right? It's like that. Like they hate you for the same exact reason that they admire you for. But they don't want to admit it, which is why it's like a secret. They secretly love you, they secretly admire you, but their hatred for you overpowers their love for you. It is what it is. Okay, there's nothing you can do about that. That's again, these are internal struggles and traumas and things that they have to deal with. All right, hold on one second. Okay, so that's that, right? So as much as they love you, their hatred for you is much much stronger, which is like it's kind of like um do you know how when you go to the doctors or when you went to the doctors as a kid and they would like the doctor would like tap your knee to check your knee reflexes and then your knee would like jump as an involuntary response. So it's kind of like as much as they cared about you, admired you, whatever, their internal, I don't know, trauma, drama, hatred, boxed self, it was kind of like an involuntary response where they would like start hexing you and cursing you and magic. Now, for some of you, it's not going to be like actual magic, like potions and spells. For others of you, it is. For others of you, it could just be the way they think about you. All right, the way they think about you, the way they feel about you, projection. Like if you're bold enough to do whatever in your life because you're like a free spirit and you don't let anything hold you back, they would have all these negative thoughts about it because for whatever reason they just felt like they couldn't do the same thing, right? Even though they admire you for what you were doing. And again, that really comes down to you being the star child. So because you're the star child, it's like you don't have, like you don't know what it is to box yourself. You don't, what is that, right? Like what is, like how do you limit yourself? How do you box yourself? How do you feel this way about yourself? How do you see the world this, you don't, right? It's just not in your nature because you're a star child. You are part of the universe. The universe is massive, it's expansive, it's cosmic, right? You are unlimitless, boundless. These people, they've boxed themselves. So there's a massive difference, and it's like the same reason you being a free spirit is the same reason why they dislike you, or they have like it's more like jealousy and envy because they feel like they can't be that free, or oh, how do you do it? All right, that's another thing too. How do you do it? Look, I have goals and dreams. How do you free yourself that way? That's another thing that they want to ask you. Not only do they want to know what you know, they want to know how you know what you know, but they also want to know how do you free yourself. That's like a recurring thought in their minds right now. How do you free yourself? How do you free yourself, right? And they may want to ask you this, but you know better than to answer this question because there's no one way. Everyone's way is different, right? And I hate to say it, but a couple of your family members, they want to know how you freed yourself because they want to free themselves. But unfortunately for them, it's just not in the cards for this lifetime for them. For a few of them, it's just not in the cards, right? It's just not what destiny has in mind for them, right? So I hate to say it like that. I really do. All right, let me get a couple more cards, and then I'm going to change the decks. Petty man. So there could be a petty man involved. That's interesting. Very interesting, actually. Wow. Attacking your root chakra. So, within your family, there's a petty man. Within, I was just thinking about that book. In a dark, dark forest, there's a dark, dark house. In a dark, dark house, there's a dark, dark room. In a dark, dark room, there's a dark, dark dresser. And a dark, dark dresser, and then you turn to the next page, and you're supposed to like jump scare your friends when you're reading that part. I feel like there's a petty man in your family that has been trying to like give you jump scares in your life to like throw you off. Because a lot of it has to do with this petty man is like a trying to attack your root chakra. When your root chakra is unbalanced, you're insecure, aggressive, restless. You have a poverty mindset, and you're promiscuous, right? Um, there's nothing wrong with being promiscuous if you're being safe and conscious and healthy with it, right? But the whole point of this attacking your root chakra is that it's kind of like your internal self would, I feel like that's what it was too. They were trying to have their inner selves mirrored onto you, and you would mimic their inner self. It's like, okay, so a lot of this they were doing mirror magic, right? They would project their inner selves into the magic, the mirror, whatever, and then hoping that it would attach itself to you, and then you would mimic their internal stuff. Like you would box yourself, you would be insecure, you would be just negative, you would be promiscuous, you would be aggressive, insecure, right? Because again, you are the star child. Like that's not your nature to be like that. Your nature is to be free and like just confident. And the universe has like, the universe is the universe. It is what it is. You being the star child, you are what you are, right? You're nothing more, you're nothing less. You are what you are. But these people wanted you to be less than what you are and have you be stuck, like in a box, insecure, aggressive, loose, not have you realizing who you are, what you are. But again, that changed because now your root chakra is very balanced. And oh my gosh, I just saw a flower. It just went like that. A flower just went like that, right? So it's unblocked and it's glowing. It's a glowing flower. I just got really excited because I literally just saw a flower go and it's glowing. So your root chakra is open. It's glowing. It's open. It's balanced. It's what's the word? It's fulfilled. Your root chakra is fulfilled. All right. So when it's balanced, you're physically active. You're responsible. Hold on. You have self-care. You're self-reliant, and you're optimistic. So you're able to focus on yourself, right? Who you are, what you are. Nothing more, nothing less. You're not holding on to these thorny roses anymore for the sake of family, friendship, love. You're not holding on to things that hurt you just for the sake of family, friendship, love. You're at this point, because you're focused on your self-care, you just kind of like dropped it. It is what it is. Now you're just like indifferent. If they're in your life, they're in your life. If they're not in your life, then they're not in your life, right? So it's kind of like a lot of that had to do with like your insecurities, like if I let these people go, what's gonna happen? Oh my gosh, now you're just like, all right, well, it is what it is, right? So, all right, I feel like I'm missing something else here. Responsible. You're able to be responsible, but with like your purpose in life. Before, when they were throwing magic on you, and it's like you were mimicking their internal selves, like their insecurities, their aggression, their promiscuity. Because you were mimicking their internal selves, you were not being responsible with your purpose in life. You were not being responsible with your calling, with your cosmic identity, I guess I should say. You were not being responsible. And I'm not blaming you, right? There's no blame on you. It's just because I don't know, it's like things were not clear for you. Okay? So it's kind of like you go to work, but you're not responsible with the task at hand. Now you are, though. Now you are. All right. So that's all. That's all I have to say. All right. So let's move on. found it? Oh. Alright, I'm back. Okay, we have Mars. The drive for the confronting of action. I feel like this petty man, he's more there's anger here. There's anger here, not on your side, because how can you be angry if you're indifferent to your own family members? It's like you just don't care, right? It is what it is. You don't care, right? And it's not being mean, right? Because people think that if you don't care, you're being mean, but it's just like, how can you care about people that like hurt you when all you were trying to do, it's like your love for them was hurting yourself. It's like you loving them was hurting you more, right? And now that you don't care, it's like they think that you're mean, but it's like, which makes no sense, because it's like they want you to love them despite the fact that it's like it's gonna hurt you, and it's they can't, their magic is not working. It's like you're mean because you don't love us, because you won't, and if you don't love us, then we can't do magic on you, and if we can't do magic on you, whatever, right? So there's this petty man could be the one that's like angry and mad, more anger. I feel like there's something about he wants to like confront you or something, like ask you something or confront you, because again, in the beginning of the video, I kept getting like, they want to know what you know, right? That's clear, that's obvious, but they want to know how you know what you know, right? And in particular, like to be more specific, how you know what you know is how you freed yourself. They want to know how you freed yourself. So this petty man wants to know how you freed yourself. He admires the fact that you freed yourself, but he also hates it because he's like limiting himself. He puts himself in a box. He doesn't like that, right? He admires you for your free spirit, your unwillingness to conform, to bend, to break. Like, how did you free yourself? Because I want to do the same thing. Realistically, you can't tell him that because there's no one answer. It's like, what's the path for me to take in life? That's impossible to say because there's like so many paths to take, right? This man wants to, like, he loves you, but he also like there's this could be like a cousin, a brother, a sibling, uncle, a father, a lover. It could be a spouse. It could be anyone in your family, really. That's masculine. But yeah, it's like they want to know what drives you as well. There's something that keeps you going. It's this person, they just want to like come to you with like all the it's like they've written down a bunch of questions, and it's like they want to corner you, make it seem, they want to corner you and like just ask you questions like right off the bat, right? It's like they want to like interrogate you for your own knowledge. But to be honest with you, even if you did tell them what you know, it's useless to them, because there's, your knowledge is for you. It's not really going to be conducive to this person's like growth. It's really not. So even if you did tell them, they're not going to know what to do with the information because they're not going to understand it. It's like somebody is like asking, how does this, I don't know, rocket work? And then you tell them, and then it's like they still won't understand because it's like they don't have the language. They don't understand the language. So, anyways, this person's gonna want to take. They want to take action, but more so, the only reason why they want to take action is because they want to be able to like corner you and interrogate you. That's like, hold on. It's like they want to interrogate you. I feel like this person, they, you ever see like in like those dramatic action movies where somebody gets like tied up to like a polygraph test? If you don't know what a polygraph test, it's one of those things where it's basically that like it's a lie detector test. That's basically what it is, a lie detector test. So it's like if this person could put you in a lie detector in a polygraph test while asking you the questions that they have, it's like I don't know. They're not gonna understand. It's just not for them. It's like you literally understand a different language than this person. You could also speak different language than this person. I don't mean like you speak English and then they speak, I don't know, Swedish or something like that. It's not really like that. It's like when you speak, you guys could be both speaking English, but it's like when you talk, they don't understand what you're saying. It's like they can't process your words. They don't get it. And here they come. They want to ask you all these questions, and even if you did give them the answer, because you just speak different language, they're not gonna understand. And then it's just that right there. It makes them angry. They don't understand why they don't understand. That makes them angry, and so they're mad at you. They're mad at the world. They're mad at God, but they're not mad with themselves. They think there's nothing wrong with themselves. All right. Um, anyways, I'm telling you, this person really wanted you to mimic their internal self. This is how they. You're. This is not your nature. None of this is your nature. It's just not. This person, man. It's like you were created by the universe, meticulously so. And this person was created through karmic bonds. That's the best way I can put it. This person's gonna have to clear all of this before they can get to this. This is something they don't want to hear. Official person reverse despair. Yeah, this is a fake person. This is this is somebody who has like a certain standing in the community. Like if this is a cop, this is not a good cop. This is like a crooked cop. If this is a politician, this is not a good politician. This is a crooked politician, right? This is just somebody who has a certain image within the community, but really they're just like awful. This person is really going through it right now with wow, I just stuttered. With despair being here. They could be 32 years old. Um, they could have been trying to do something for the past 5 years. But whoever this person is, it's like their their image is a front. They're not a good person, and they're really going through it right now. A lot of it has to do like they're really angry too. They're really angry. They're angry because of the fact that their demons like don't like you, which is it could be for some of you, like I said, it could be actual demons, but for some of you, it could just be like their self worth, the way they view themselves, the way they feel about themselves, the way they see the world, right? Um, basically anything that they can go to therapy for to fix, right? So on top of that, they secretly love you because of the fact that you're so free that you don't let anything hold you down. Meanwhile, they hold themselves down by everything: boxes, money, society, opinions, thoughts of others, right? This is a petty man. He's really going through right now because the magic, hex, and curse, all of that has backfired. Who you truly are is nothing more, nothing less, right? And it's shining. You are a star child. You are shining. Who you really are is shining, right? The fact that you're reliant, optimistic, responsible, you're just taking action in your life, that's shining, right? Meanwhile, who this person really is, it's like they can't do magic so you can mimic their internal selves, right? Um, Let me see what else. Also, you know who this petty man is. Well, here's how to know who this would be in your family, right? Um, you're fine, you're clear headed, but the best way to figure out who this person is in your family is if all of a sudden they're just like acting erratic and just like going through bouts of like depression, anger, um, paranoia. They're being paranoid too. And there's something that they're repeating constantly. They're repeating something or asking something over and over and over and over again, right? It's like a phrase or a question, right? And it's just like if you hear them like this is something that they're repeating or asking like multiple times. But if you listen to what they're repeating or what they're asking, you're gonna just listen to what that is. They're looking for something. They want to know how you freed yourself. Realistically, you can't even if they did put you in a polygraph test, like hypothetically speaking, even if they got you in a polygraph test and they asked you, it's gonna be like inconclusive. Toil and labor, mature man reverse. This man, listen, we got petty man, and then we have mature man reverse. This mature man is actually he's very like childish. He just like for someone who is like this is obviously an adult, right? But for an adult man, this is somebody who just like you look at them and you're like, what are you doing? You know, it's just like what are you doing with your life? It's like they put all their energy and hard work into like the wrong things in their life. So this mature man in reverse is like an official person in reverse. It's like their image is like false and fake, and they're actually like if they come across a certain way, it's like who they really are is shining. If like they pretend to be super confident, their insecurities are showing, and people are seeing this. So they put a lot of work into this image that they projected into society, right? Um, like this is somebody who made themselves seem very smart, confident, strong, secure, right? Reliable. But come to find out, they're very unreliable. They're very irresponsible. They're very promiscuous, right? They have a poverty mindset. It's like they're aggressive. They put a lot of work into their image only for and the only reason why they were able to do that is because they were having you mimic who they really were. It's kind of like they were trying to pass off the responsibility of their inner selves onto you, you know. And now that they can't do that anymore, it's like they have to go through their own trauma, drama, internal struggles. They have to like go through it. They can't escape it. They can't pass off that responsibility to anybody else. It's like they want somebody else to go to therapy for them, and that's not possible. But meanwhile, this man secretly loves you, right? This person is very childish. They're very immature. Very, very immature. Very immature. And people see this, obviously. People see that this person is very immature. This could be somebody older than you, which is like also another blow to their ego. Because if this person is older than you and they act like they're in high school, it's just like, what are you doing? Like people are like, what are you? They're looking at this man like, what are you doing? All right. Let me get a couple more of these. Well, I'll get a couple of these and then I'll call it. Queen of Swords, look. Right next to Star Child. Queen of Swords. So you're somebody that's all about facts and the truth and you're very headstrong. Your mental state is very clear. There's nothing confusing you. Nothing's making you like conflicted. You can see things for what it is, right? You know what's what. It's like with this sword of truth right next to you, you're able to like cut the crap of illusion. I guess I should say it like that. Cut the crap of illusion. It's like this person can't fool you. People can't fool you, and a lot of that, they're angry, like they're magic. Because again, once you just became indifferent towards them, a lot of the magic that they were doing was like just clouding you, making you confused, conflicted, not knowing what the truth was, being all brain foggy. But that's ended, right? So now you're able to see the truth of the matter. You're able to see things for what it is. Also, you're also standing in your truth. Also, this woman has her hand out. Something is going to be coming to this woman. It's like the universe is going to be placing something in her hand. Something that's like rightfully hers. Yeah, the universe is going to be placing something in her hand. What that is, I can't say because it's different for everybody, right? It could be knowledge, it could be finances, it could be peace, it could be gifts. I don't know. Well, here you are. You could be a divine masculine. This reading is for you, or you could be a divine feminine. This reading is for you, right? It doesn't really matter. It's just that your root chakra is balanced, so it's not all over the place, right? So whether you are divine masculine, you're no longer being promiscuous, all right? You've balanced out your inner selves. Whether you are divine feminine, you also balance out your inner self. You're no longer being promiscuous. I feel like a lot of that has to do with your promiscuity, you not focusing and preserving that energy. You were being irresponsible with that energy. Also, this immature man, petty man, he's in despair because every time he tries to do magic or whatever, you just cut through the illusion of crap. These are people in your family. And everything that they've done towards this false image that they've created, it's just, there was nothing gained from that. Nothing gained. And now, here you are, George, just like, because any day now, the universe is gonna, bless you. Not that it hasn't been doing that already. Ooh. We have the Hermit, Nine of Swords reverse, and the Nine of Wands on top of official person reverse. I feel like with the Nine of Swords reverse and the Nine of Wands, this really had to do with their false image. It's like they wanted to present to the world that they were never stressed out, never bothered, never insecure, never having anxiety. Like nothing bothered them, but they could sleep at night. They were just this perfect image. Like it's like they created, I feel like they carved out an image to present to the world as a perfect man, right? But that was just fake. Now with the Nine of Wands here, hold on. He's like exhausted from doing all of this. Having to pretend that he was like I don't know, like God's gift to the world, right? Like everything about him was perfect, that he wasn't going through anything. Like he was just, it's like having to put up with that image, it's like left him exhausted, right? It's like, I don't know, he's just like he's being beaten down. It's bringing up a lot within him and around him. He put a lot of energy into creating this image, this false image, only for the reality of who he is coming to light, which is a mature man and reverse petty man. Who he really is just a man who's just very petty and immature, right? It's like he exhausted himself trying to pretend to be something else. We have the Hermit over here. So it's like on the fence, like horizontal, and that's next to attacking your root chakra. It's like a lot of the magic that they were doing was towards your root chakra, obviously, because attacking your root chakra, hoping that by you being so unbalanced, you wouldn't like be aware of what was going on. You wouldn't be aware of who and what you are. Nothing more, nothing less, right? A lot of that magic had to do with, well, if I do magic on the collective, particularly on their root chakra, they will never wake up and realize who and what they are. Because who and what they are would show who I really am and what I really am. But obviously that changed because you went within yourself and you realized what was going on. And so now, right? So they were really doing magic, hoping that a lot of that has to do with keeping you confused, insecure, more focused on like being promiscuous. Because if you're more focused on being promiscuous, it's like that's all you really care about. It's like you only really care about what attention you can get from either men or women, like sexually. That's all you really care about. You don't care about your worth. You don't really care about proving yourself. You don't care about what you can do with that energy. It's like that's the only attention you cared about. That's it's like they just didn't want you. They wanted you to be so insecure that it's like that's all you felt like you could be like. I don't know, like that's all you could like bring to the table or something. And then while you're doing that, that's also keeping you aggressive because it's like you want to do more, but you can't because you're too insecure, you're too irresponsible, you have a poverty mindset, like you're not enough, you can't do enough, you're keeping yourself in a box, and la 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 la, right? A lot of that had to do. It was really mental magic. So they were doing magic on your mental health, hoping that you would never get out of that. You would never be clear enough to know the truth. And on top of that, because you wouldn't be clear enough to know the truth, you wouldn't be able to um, understand that a lot of that was not even your emotions, your feelings, your thoughts, your desires. It really wasn't. It was just projected. You were mimicking the thoughts, the desires, the feelings, the actions of this petty, mature man in reverse. It was you were mimicking who this person was. And it's like the way they saw this is that if they could get out of being their most negative, toxic self and pass that off onto somebody else, so that all they had to focus was the carefully crafted image that they presented to society, then they're fine. But that was the mistake that they made because you were like acting out somebody else's like I don't know, you were acting out and like doing the job of somebody else's, you know, drama, trauma, business that had nothing to do with you, right? That had nothing to do with you. So this person was doing magic, hoping that you would never understand what was going on. You would never go within yourself and, you know, figure yourself out. You would never have a clear head, a clear mind, and understand the truth. So that's what the magic really was. And in order for you to act out their most negative, toxic self, they had to confuse your mind and confuse your spirit. But obviously that changed because you're who you are now, nothing more, nothing less. And who they are is showing, which is a hot mess because this person was created by toxic karmic bonds, right? So the way they came into this world was through tainted karmic bonds, blood, tainted blood, all that stuff, right? So it's like I feel like they knew that, and instead of like having to do, it's like they didn't want to do the work to clear their blood, to clear their emotions, go to therapy, do the work. They're just like, here, you take care of this for me, right? But you came into this world like as a clean slate. Like you already had a destiny. It's like, oh, you have a clean slate, then here, you take this, and then I'll just live my life. But at the end of the day, somebody is gonna have to like alchemize all of that. Somebody's gonna have to like clean it. It's like somebody's gonna have to clean this, and it's not gonna be you, collective. It's gonna be like you spilled this glass of milk, you clean it up. This is not my mess. This is your mess. You clean it up. Your thoughts are messy. Clean it up. Your emotions are messy. Clean it up. Your spirit is a mess. Clean it up. This is not my mess. I did not make this. You made this. We have the Three of Wands in reverse. I feel like whatever this person is waiting for, They're waiting for something, but it's the more they wait for something, the more exhausted they become. It's like they're waiting for like some turn of events to happen, but it's not going to happen. Also, this person could have to move back home with their parents, or like have to get a roommate or something. They're going to have to, wherever they are, they're going to have to move back home. So if they moved far away from their home and they created this crafted image that failed, and now they have to go back to the place that they were trying to get away from, and that terrifies them. That terrifies them. That thing with the Three of Wands in reverse, that's where the Mars energy is coming from. It's they're just there's a lot of anger around this person and within this person, because again, their image that they crafted, it failed, right? And now they have to go back. This is, oh my gosh, this is that one reading I did, like my last reading. Karmic masculine wants to go back to the drawing board, but also that could be like trying to make up another plan, but it could also just be having to go back to live with his parents, right? It's like he's angry because the image that he created and crafted and all the work that he put into this, it did not work, right? And now he's just left being angry. um I don't know what else to say. Jesus. 10 of Cups reverse. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this person is frustrated because nothing in their life, it's like they're not, nothing is emotionally fulfilling for them. They have no family, they have no friends. And if they do have to go back home to like certain family members, it's like their family members are looking at this masculine like a burden. Like they're only doing it for the sake of like their image. I feel like, so if their family, if this toxic masculine, this immature man needs to go back home for whatever reason, he knows that there's no love there, that they're only taking him in because it's like just for the sake of family. That is it. For the sake of like the word family, and mostly they would take him in because it would look better on them, not because they actually want him to come back, not because they actually like, they don't, it's not like they don't care about his well-being. It's just the fact that it's like they feel like his well-being is not their responsibility. All right, it's like they feel like his responsibility is supposed to be like he's a grown man, he's an adult, and he has to move back home with his family members, right? So now they're looking at him like he's a burden. So if he has to go back home, even he, it's like he, I don't know, it's like he resents being there, and then they resent him being there. All right. And again, this has nothing to do with you. This has nothing to do with you. It's like there's this man has done way too much. There's like no proper love in his life at the moment. I'll get a couple more and then I'll close it. Oh my god. Ace of Wands reverse. There, it's like there's not only is there's no love, there's nothing. It's like this man's passionate spark in life has gone out. It's there's no love, there's no passion, there's no desires. He's not motivated, and on top of all of that, he's blocked from being able to do magic on you. Again, magic hex curse has backfired, and then Ace of Wands reversed. He can't do magic on you. He has to like kind of sit in the mess that he made, and it's overwhelming him. It really is. It's overwhelming this man. But you know, it is what it is. You did all of this, and I'm stuttering a lot. I'm stuttering a lot. So I know that whoever this person is, it's like they're in a lot of this. They're also embarrassed of their own situation as well. All right, let me get one more and then I'll close it. Six of Pentacles. The reason why this is happening is because things are finally being balanced out. This is the balance. And I hate to say it, but um, all of this crap that's going on in this masculine's life, this is the balance. This is like justice playing out in a sense, right? It's like this person did so much to keep you unbalanced, out of whack, confused, not knowing what's going on, all that stuff, all the magic that they were doing. It's like the universe was like, all right, enough is enough. Now you have to deal with your own issues and stop trying to pass it off onto other people. Clean up the mess that you made because it's only right, right? It's basically like that. You spilled that glass of milk. Now it's only right that you clean it up because that's how it is. That's balance. This is things being restored. All right. So I hope this reading helps. I hope you get some clarity from it and all that good stuff. If you need a personal reading, send me an email. And all my information is in my About Me section on my channel and usually in all my description boxes. All right. So give it a ganza. All right. See ya. Bye.